This particular gun is a Colt 45. The gun itself is quite uncommon, and Hold it!
I'm no criminal, so explain to me this. Why is a Colt 45 so uncommon?
At the criminal department, we know that crimes that involve guns usually don't involve Colt 45s. They usually involve 9mm.
Granted that, tell us why a Colt 45 is so unusual, though.
Usually, a gun like this is sold in antique stores. You know, like cowboy guns and stuff, yeah. You can't find this gun in a regular gun shop, pal.
Antique shop?
Yeah, pal. Modern guns aren't revolvers, and they certainly don't have chambers.
What do they have? Magazines?
Magazines, pal. They're a set of bullets in a container in which a gun can use these bullets.
What about revolvers? Okay, I feel stupid about pressing this any further.
What's the easiest way to explain it? Have you ever played Russian roulette?
Oh! What? What? Really? You're gonna say that? You couldn't just say that there's only one bullet hole, like there's 6 chambers, which are like holes in the gun that you can just slip bullets in, and that whenever you run out, you have to take out the chamber and put another 6 bullets in order to reload, and that's why they are uncommon, because magazine you can just slip it in? No, but I kinda know what it is.
Yeah, well, where you put a bullet, spin the chamber, and hope to live? That's the kind of gun used in this game, pal. I think the court understands why the gun is so unusual. Tell us what the results show. We checked the barrel, and it shows that the gun is fired twice.
Hold it! How many chambers does it have?
This one has 6.
Being the revolver that it is, you can't prove that it has been fired twice.
Objection! Miss Faye, I'm sorry, but that's where you're wrong.
What did he just say?
Detective, tell her why you can prove that it's been fired twice.
This gun has 4 bullets left. You might think it's planted evidence, but it's not. Tests show that they were there at the time. This particular gun must have gunpowder in the chamber in order to fire. The gunpowder was in all 6 chambers.
I can't believe Gumshoe has actually found a way to counter my move. Ouch!
Continue your testimony. As Miss Faye said, there are unidentified fingerprints on it. Hold it!
I know I made a big fuss over it, but you conducted a fingerprint test on it, right?
Definitely. We checked the victims and the defendant's fingerprints, but none of them were a match.
I can only think of 2 things to say about this gun. Either this proves that there is a third person here, or this gun is false evidence. I can't do anything about it now, so I might as well just let it go.
The victim was killed. Execution smile, smirk.
Hold it! Why are you smirking? An execution style?
Yeah, pal. The bullet was found lodged into his brain. The gunpowder confirms this kind of killing.
Lodged inside this brain. I wonder. Do I act, or do I keep shut?
You act!
Your Honor, I request the witness adds that last statement to his testimony.
Mr. Payne, do you have any objections?
Actually, I do. The detective's statement was clear as is. There's no need to have it added.
I don't think so, pal. The detective said something that we can't overlook.
Overruled, Mr. Payne. Witness, please add that tidbit to your testimony.
I'm going to let the court record do the talking here. Okay, go on.
The gunpowder burn and the bullet lodged his brain confirms this kind of killing.
Yeah, wasn't there something about this saying something like, let's see, one shot to the brain, and didn't that just, like, come out of his brain, pretty much? Also, victim, let's see, entry, and came out directly on the back. So, yes. Yeah, it's freaking out of the brain, so... Objection! Detective, I'm not so sure that you've cleared up anything here.
Again?
Unfortunately, again. Because your views of execution doesn't match what the autopsy report says about the execution.
Miss Fay, would you please explain what was wrong with his conclusion?
Yes, I have to agree with Mr. Payne.
Alright, Maya. You've come this far. Think about it carefully before you open your mouth. Look at the autopsy report very carefully and think, what exactly is wrong with Gumshoe's theory? And what should have been mentioned earlier in the testimony? Find the mistake and you win.
It's time to hear your answer to the question. What was wrong with Detective Gumshoe's conclusions about the murder?
Well, I know the bullet, but the gunpowder burn?
Both of them are wrong.
If the autopsy report is correct about the gunpowder burn, then the problem lies within the bullet.
The bullet?
Yes, the bullet. You see, if the victim was killed execution style, then the deadly shot was a contact shot!
A contact shot? I've never heard that one before.
This is very rare. I've read of a few cases in which there was a contact shot. In the picture of the victim, the forehead has a distinct star-shaped burn on its head. This is very indicative of a contact shot. Furthermore, there should be extensive heat damage inside the brain. Due to the proximity of the human tissue and the barrel of the gun,
Isn't this simply a point-blank range shot?
technically speaking, it's not a point-blank shot.
Mr. Payne, I'm afraid Miss Fay is right.
Whoa!
Mr. Payne, watch yourself with your woes!
My apologies, Your Honor.
Detective Gumshoe, explain the difference between a contact shot and a point-blank shot. A point-blank shot is done from up to 3 feet away. Point-blank shots are circular and causes tissue damage. Might not pass through the body.
Yeah, point blank is like... That's why whenever you see someone say point blank in a game or whatever, man, he freaking missed point blank! Or something like that. It's like you're 3 feet away. Meanwhile, execution, you put the gun right to their head, so... That ain't point blank, that's like... execution style.
A contact shot is taken within 6 inches of the body.
That's about right, actually. Yeah.
The powder burn has a unique pattern. The tissue takes damage for the burn gunpowder. This kind of shot goes through the body, pal.
This explains why the entry-exit points... Or, this explains the entry-exit points, yes?
You got it, pal.
I understand this now.
Well, it looks like we have fully explained the gun and the bullet. Yeah, I believe that's about it, pal.
I think that Detective Gumshoe has neglected to explain a piece of evidence.
Miss Faye, don't waste our time. There's nothing about the evidence that has been left unexplained.
Did we really? I don't think we have overlooked anything.
Oh, I think we have. And this is the evidence that needs explaining. This? I mean, I'm not gonna get a penalty.
Take that!
Take that! Detective, I want you to have a look at the newspaper article.
What of it, pal?
It says that the victim and Wart were dragged out from the van and left in the back alley. It also says that the masked man shot the gun and quickly left the scene. Now tell me, why did you arrest Mr. Wart? I mean, he was knocked out and unconscious.
Oh no! Overruled.
I love how Mr. Payne tries to object and before he can say anything.
Overruled. Detective, answer the question! Why exactly did you arrest Mr. Wart? You see, he was the only person next to the body. He could have killed him, regardless of the gun.
Also, why did you ignore the most of the witness accounts? They said they saw a masked man.
Well, you see, we knew about that fact. We really did. We couldn't ignore it, pal.
And yet you did! How unprofessional!
Here's why. We asked Mr. Ward about the masked man. He could not tell us anything about him. Trust me, Maya. I don't like to do this at all, but I was under orders to arrest someone. If he can't explain why he's not the masked man, he's the masked man. That's what my boss said.
Well, your boss is an idiot. Detective, that's not good enough. The masked man and Mr. Ward are two different people.
That's not my fault. I'm under orders to arrest the first person who looks suspicious, pal.
What kind of crocked up police department is this detective working for? The one run by, Damon Grant? Mr. Payne, if your detective thought that Mr. Wart was the masked man, then you must have thought that Mr. Wart was the masked man as well.
No, oh, I didn't.
Don't lie to me!
Wah!
Now tell us, why was Mr. Wart your primary suspect?
I knew about the masked man as well. I also couldn't ignore it. Detective Gumshoe summarized my reason for me. There's a high possibility that Mr. Wart was lying. Also, in that article, there's one key sentence you seem to have ignored.
The one about the one bullet? And that is?
The other man is unknown, but is suspected to be Worrywart, Canalorov's page. The key word being suspected.
Gah!
Also, have you forgotten? This is basically our report. I'm not stupid, you know, woman.
Jeez, snarky.
You see, it's also entirely possible that Mr. Ward set himself up to be the victim.
I hope you're very sure about that. If I can get a few other witnesses to contradict you, then you've got a lot of explaining to do, the Council of Lawyers. Ooh, you got some splaining to do. Yeah, look at that. Look at that little tiny piece of hair.
A detective and a prosecutor that ignores the facts. This is blasphemy of the court!
There's something else that needs to be addressed right now. One other piece of evidence. I think Detective Gumshoe has neglected to explain a piece of evidence.
Miss Faye, don't waste our time. There's nothing about the evidence that has been left unexplained.
Did we really? I don't think we have overlooked anything.
Oh, I think we have. And this is the piece of evidence... What?
What? Didn't I just
Do this a minute ago? I thought it was just the newspaper clipping, but...
Yeah! Your Honor, I believe we have not sufficiently explained this piece of evidence. I don't believe we need to delve further into this piece of evidence.
Sis, the judge is right. He said that something hasn't been explained. What is it then?
Permission granted. No penalties for trying. Wow, I wish that's how it would go a lot. I'm also curious myself.
Phew, thank God I made Payne look bad. Otherwise I might have been hit with a penalty.
Okay. Hold it!
I think...
Yeah... Nah. Whoa, 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 whoa! I didn't say anything!
Okay. What? Why did it say present at blank? The gun? I don't think it's... Is it the newspaper article again? No, it isn't. Okay, this is easy, but at the same time, I'm kind of confused because it made it sound like... It's like, did I break the...
Stop taking that!
Hold it! I only got one piece of evidence left. At least I think I do. Okay. Detective, you have yet to explain the last part of this piece of evidence.
What exactly have I not explained?
The last page of the autopsy report. It says that Congressman Kaneloroff has been bruised on the chest and stomach.
Ah, right.
It's also noted that the victim had welts on his neck. Care to explain this?
Unfortunately, I really can't explain a lot about him, pal.
Really?
Yeah, we think there was a struggle before he died. Whoever killed him must have really known what they were doing. How would you know that? Because there was a blow straight to the heart, sir. Trust me, Your Honor, you don't want to be punched in the heart. Any other criminal would try to choke him or punch his gut. But to punch the heart on purpose? To maybe paralyze him? That's cold.
The victim took a serious beating before he was shot in the forehead. How dreadful the death must be. In the end, the cause of death is still the shot to the forehead, isn't it?
Yeah, pal. The criminal hit the guy in the heart to knock him unconscious. You may step down from the witness stand. We're back to square one. We have no suspects. And the witness Mr. Payne called ended up proving Mr. Ward innocent, actually.
Your Honor, you seem to have forgotten one thing. My witness.
What? Can you just call your witness?
Why didn't you say that before?
thought that maybe the detective could have proven the defendant's guilt. I guess that simply wasn't enough.
Who is your witness?
My witness has an unusually detailed account of murder.
What?
I am going to request a 15-minute recess in order to prepare my witness.
I'm going to need a break too. The court will adjourn for a 15-minute recess. Alright, cool. If you would like to save, then press the save button and bookmark this page, which is what I'm going to do. Yes, I'm going to do that right now, so I gotta save. And that is going to be it for this session. It's 5:51 in the morning, so I'm gonna need to render these. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed it so far. I've actually been enjoying the game, so far. Been enjoying it much better than seeing a bunch of Image Shack freaking pictures pop up everywhere. But yeah, with that, I will see you all next time, and this is just going to get a warm-up into getting into these, because the one trial that happened to be requested was apparently one of the hardest trials ever, and I don't want to deal with that right this moment. So yeah, with that, hope you all enjoyed, and I will catch you all next time. Have a great day.